What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Commentary for you. And before I step out, because I'm going to have somebody else on my channel, I want to let you know we're going to do something a little different with this video. I've got Uche Nwaneri with me. He's a retired 7-year NFL vet, right guard, center, left guard, almost 100 starts with the Jacksonville Jaguars. From an X's and O's standpoint, from a concepts of the game standpoint, this guy has truly lived the life of an NFL player. I'd recommend you check out his channel. I'll put a link down in the description. We've even done some live streams together, but I wanted to get him on here to break down football like only a true former player can. He's going to talk about the counter run. It's a fundamental football play, and it's a play which he knows all too well, having led the way for players like Maurice Jones-Drew and Fred Taylor, often against my beloved Indianapolis Colts. So with that said, I'm going to let him take over, and you guys are going to learn about some X's and O's.
So as with all offensive lines, we're going to identify our 4D linemen here with our two backers. This is a nickel 4-2. And in the counter play, one thing you have to know is that the two edge defenders are going to be kicked out. Now, in this situation, I personally would have called that first X as my Mike linebacker. And knowing that we have the right guard pulling all the way to the edge of the line to kick out, the center and the left guard are going to want to make sure they work together and watch out for any kind of threats that are replacing where that right guard is pulling from. Now, as we see the ball snapped, definitely is a little bit of a mix-up here between the left tackle and the left guard. 68 should be staying on with 65, and they should be keeping their eyes to that linebacker who is firing downhill into that gap that the right guard actually removed from when he pulled. So 65 is actually right here to stay on that defensive tackle with his eyes at that backer, but 68 should also be there with them. We call that a back block in the NFL. And in this situation, these guys kind of traded places, 68 and 74. So now things are just kind of wonky. You have 74 chasing that called backer back into the line of scrimmage. That doesn't really make any sense from a just X's and O's standpoint. And just many things not working right in that situation there with the way that 74 just switched assignments with 68. 68 ran straight up the field, didn't really cover anything or block anybody, and that's just a shame that they didn't have that offense set up right for this kind of defensive front. It's a basic defensive front, not anything special. They're running a 4-2 nickel, so not really anything that should be confusing to an offensive line that knows what they're doing. All right, so this is attempt number 2 at running the counter play. Once again, calling our 4-down D linemen and our linebackers in the 4-2 nickel. Same call, going to call that backer on the right side. And this time we have a completely different situation, at least from the initial look of it. We have that defensive end on the right side actually crashing down, which means we're going to have to actually sort this out between 68, 65, and 75 if we were in a real game in order to have those guys pass that off and pick up that blitzing linebacker who's coming back through that A-gap that the right guard actually vacated. So I would have 74 in this situation because of what that linebacker is doing, because you got the crash from the defensive interior. 74 in my eyes, I'd want to have him going up the field to block that linebacker right on the hash mark, securing him on the outside shoulder, because you're going to be getting a kick out from your right guard. He's going to send that edge defender up the field, and the running back and the tight end are actually going to fit right in between that. We call that an alleyway fit. They're going to fit into that alleyway, and I would have 88 on this play all the way up to the safety. Leave the backside safety for the running back. Let the running back beat that player because everyone else is accounted for. But really the biggest problem on this play is that 74, being at left tackle, continues to go after the Mike linebacker who belongs to the center and the left guard. And once the ball snaps, these guys just aren't taking the correct angles based on the play and where it's supposed to be going. So yet again, Madden fails. All right, so you guys know what the fronts are. You know what the defense is. Let's take a look and see for the third attempt if Madden actually handles this play in the correct manner. So here we have the right guard pulling, the tight end pulling, and once again we have the same switch off with 74 and 68. 68 is just running his 40-yard dash, trying to see if he can get under 5.0. Just doesn't make much sense to me as to why with a basic front we're not able to see these guys pick up the right blocks in the right way. The left tackle is rarely ever going to end up on the far right side of the field. The left guard should be covering up that nose guard who's on the center so that the center can actually slide off of that block and block that linebacker who's firing into that backside A-gap. Now, again, 68 looks like he's moving up for that safety on the backside, but that's unnecessary as you have the running back who should be taking care of that block in particular. But it's just really kind of annoying that the only person who has done their job correctly in this entire thing has been the right guard who's been the puller. He has done the kick out each and every time. Not something that I've seen from any of the other players in their consistency. Oh, wait, I actually digress. 65, the center, has also been on his nose guard each and every play. But he's getting a minus on the play because he's not getting over and protecting that backside gap with that blitzing backer. So once again, Madden shows that its logic just doesn't work. All right, so fourth time has to be the charm, right? The game can't possibly blow this 4 times in a row. Let's see how it plays on this one. Obviously, we have the same snap, same calls, and look here. We might have a winner. After all of the stupidity, after screwing up so bad, Madden may have actually redeemed itself. Let's take a look here. The center actually comes off. 65 comes off for the blitzing backer. He is now in position to protect that gap. 74, if he's going to take that safety, which, you know, it's okay here because that guy's coming downhill, then he needs to stay on a straight path to cut him off. Don't go towards him so that you can make sure you get a clean block. 68, stay on, take over that nose tackle. And we've got 88 up on the backer. We've got the defensive end on the edge of the line kicked out. 75 is widening his hole over on the right. It looks like we might have a winner, guys. Let's see how the rest of this play plays out. I'm almost stumbling over my own words because I think they're going to get it right. Oh! And of course, Madden shows us once again that its logic just does not sit in any consistent zone of reasonable football actions that'll put players in position to make blocks. 74 falls off of that block. He should have been the one to take over this safety, but the left guard 68 begins to do a Michael Jackson backpedal. And when you try to block everyone, you usually end up blocking no one. And that's what happened there. That's going to be it for this session of Trench Warfare Madden Edition. Big shout out to Ryan Moody for letting me come on his channel.
All right, so there you go, guys. Listen, I don't want this to be the last one. I know when I first saw this video, and I had to watch it before I uploaded it and narrate a little bit here, I was blown away. You know, I've broken down plays my whole life, but I've never had somebody break it down like this. So we want to know, what do you want to see what you break down next? And what do you think the biggest flaws in this game are? Leave us something down in the comments section, and we'll be sure to check it out. Until then, you know I will be back in the week with more commentary.